Once upon a time, in the golden age of Hollywood, there was a queen. Her name was Grace Kelly. She was not a queen by birth, but by an almost otherworldly poise and talent. She was the quintessential ice blonde of Alfred Hitchcock's Lens, an Oscar-winning actress of breathtaking beauty and cool, elegant fire. She was at the absolute pinnacle of her profession, the brightest star in the Hollywood firmament. And then she did the unthinkable. She gave it all up for a real-life fairy tale. In 1956, in what was dubbed the wedding of the century, Grace Kelly married Prince Rainier III of Monaco, a tiny, sun-drenched principality on the French Riviera. She traded the silver screen for a real-life throne, becoming Her Serene Highness Princess Grace of Monaco. The world watched utterly captivated. She transformed the fading resort into a global destination for glamour culture and wealth. She gave the 700-year-old Grimaldi dynasty what it needed: most heirs and an aura of magical legitimacy. The fairy tale, it seemed, was complete. But the storybook ending was shattered by a tragic, mysterious car crash on a winding, deadly cliffside road. A crash that would not only kill a princess, but would leave her 3 children to navigate a world of royal duty, shocking scandal, and profound, unrelenting, personal tragedy. What really happened to the children of Grace Kelly? In this video, we will tell the complete, glamorous, and often heartbreaking stories of Caroline, Albert, and Stéphanie, the 3 children of Princess Grace and Prince Rainier of Monaco. Born into a unique crucible of Hollywood glamour and ancient European royalty, their lives were destined to be anything but ordinary. Each one a fascinating study in duty, rebellion, and survival. We will explore the life of Princess Caroline, the elegant and dutiful eldest, who was groomed for a supporting role but was tragically thrust into the position of Monaco's First Lady, all while enduring a level of personal loss that would break most people. We will delve into the story of Prince Albert, the reluctant heir and longtime bachelor whose Olympic dreams and playboy reputation clashed with the immense pressure to secure the future of his dynasty, a journey marked by the shocking revelation of secret children. And we will uncover the rebellious and resilient life of Princess Stéphanie, the wild child who survived the fatal car crash that killed her mother and spent a lifetime trying to escape the gilded cage of royalty through careers as a pop star, a fashion designer, and even a circus performer. To bring you this definitive royal saga, we have consulted decades of authorized and unauthorized royal reporting. Numerous biographies, rare televised interviews, and historical archives from the Principality of Monaco. This is an intimate look at the very human lives lived behind the majestic, sun-drenched walls of the Prince's Palace. Number 3. Princess Caroline, the dutiful, tragic matriarch. She was the perfect princess. The beautiful, poised, and impeccably dressed eldest daughter, destined for a life of quiet, supportive nobility. So how did Princess Caroline become a symbol of both modern royal rebellion and profound tragic loss, forced to step into her mother's enormous shoes after an unthinkable tragedy? Born in 1957, Princess Caroline Louise Marguerite was the first child of the fairy tale union, and for a time, she was the heir presumptive to the throne. From the moment of her birth, she was the darling of Monaco, and the world's media perfect storybook blend of her mother's Hollywood beauty and her father's royal lineage. She was raised to be a consort, an elegant figurehead, a role she seemed perfectly suited for. But beneath the poised exterior, Caroline possessed a fiercely independent and intellectual spirit. She was fluent in multiple languages, and she studied philosophy at the prestigious Sorbonne in Paris. It was there that she began her first major act of rebellion. In 1978, she shocked her deeply Catholic parents and the world by marrying Philippe Junot, a Parisian banker and notorious playboy, 17 years her senior. Her parents strongly disapproved, but the 21-year-old Caroline was adamant. The marriage was a passionate but volatile affair, a fixture of the European tabloids, and it ended in a messy divorce. Just 2 years later, a scandal for the principality. Her life took a turn towards true happiness and stability in 1983, when she married Stefano Casiraghi, a handsome Italian industrialist and world champion speedboat racer. They were a stunningly glamorous, vibrant couple, and together they had 3 beautiful children, Andrea, Charlotte, and Pierre. For a time, it seemed Caroline had finally found her own modern fairy tale ending. But tragedy, a constant unwelcome shadow over the Grimaldi family, struck again with a brutal finality. In October of 1990, while defending his world title, the 30-year-old Stefano Casiraghi was killed in a horrific high-speed boating accident off the coast of Monaco. His catamaran flipped, and he was killed instantly. At the age of 33, Princess Caroline was a widow with 3 very young children. The images of her grief-stricken black-veiled face at his funeral were heartbreakingly reminiscent of her own mother's funeral just 8 years prior. The fairy tale had once again become a nightmare. Following the death of her mother in 1982 in that fateful car crash, Caroline had already been forced to step into a new demanding role. With her father, Prince Rainier, overwhelmed by grief and lost without his wife Caroline at just 25 years old, became the de facto First Lady of Monaco. She took over her mother's duties as the president of the Garden Club of Monaco, the president of the Princess Grace Foundation, and the organizer of the Principality's most important social events, like the annual Rose Ball. She did so with a grace, maturity, and dedication that won the admiration of the world. Her later life included a 3rd marriage to the controversial Prince Ernst August of Hanover, a German prince known for his volcanic temper and headline-grabbing antics. The marriage brought her the coveted title of Her Royal Highness, but also a new wave of public scandals. Today, Princess Caroline is the elegant elder stateswoman of the Monaco royal family. She is a devoted grandmother and continues her vast philanthropic work with a quiet, steely dignity. Her life has been a journey of immense privilege, shocking rebellion, and profound repeated loss. A testament to a woman who has endured unimaginable tragedy to become the resilient and now serene heart of her family. While Caroline was forced by tragedy to embrace her royal duties from a young age, her younger brother spent decades trying to postpone his. His was a long, winding, and often controversial journey from Olympic athlete and playboy prince to the sovereign ruler he was always destined and seemingly reluctant to be. Number 2. Prince Albert, the reluctant sovereign. He was born with the weight of a 700-year-old dynasty on his shoulders. He was the son, the heir, the man destined to rule. But for decades, Prince Albert seemed to do everything he could to avoid his destiny, seeking his own identity on the bobsled tracks of the Olympics and the society pages of the world. How did the Playboy Prince finally embrace the throne, a journey marked by scandal, a succession crisis, and the shocking revelation of secret children? Born in 1958, Albert Alexander Louis-Pierre Grimaldi was the heir the Principality had been desperately waiting for. His birth secured the future of the Grimaldi dynasty, which, due to a treaty with France, was at risk of being annexed if the throne became vacant. The pressure on him from the moment he was born was simply immense. He was educated in America at Amherst College and was groomed from a young age for the singular role of sovereign prince. But Albert was a quiet, more introverted and sensitive man than his autocratic father. And for many years he seemed deeply reluctant to step into the role that awaited him. He sought to forge his own identity in a world where success was earned, not inherited. He found that world in sports. A passionate and talented athlete, he competed in the bobsled event at 5 consecutive Winter Olympics from 1988 to 2002, often serving as Monaco's flag bearer. It was his personal arena, a place where he was judged on his performance, not his title. A place he could be just Al. Meanwhile, his personal life became the subject of intense international speculation and a source of deep concern for the palace. His long bachelorhood caused a genuine constitutional crisis in Monaco. The press dubbed him the Playboy Prince, and he was frequently photographed on yachts and at parties with a string of the world's most beautiful models and actresses. The truth of his personal life, however, was far more complicated than the tabloids knew. In the years leading up to and just after his accession to the throne, bombshell revelations emerged. It was confirmed that he had fathered 2 children out of wedlock. In 2005, he publicly acknowledged his daughter Jasmine Grace Grimaldi, born in 1992 to an American real estate agent he had met while she was on holiday. The following year, he acknowledged his son Alexandre Grimaldi Coste, born in 2003 to a former flight attendant from Togo. Due to Monaco's strict succession laws requiring a child's parents to be married, neither could inherit the throne. But the revelations painted a picture of a complex private life and forced the prince to confront his past. After the death of his father, Prince Rainier, in 2005, Albert finally ascended the throne as His Serene Highness Albert II Sovereign Prince of Monaco. In 2011, at the age of 53, he finally ended his long bachelorhood, marrying the stunning South African Olympic swimmer Charlene Wittstock in a lavish ceremony. They now have 2 children, the twins Princess Gabriella and the heir to the throne, Prince Jacques. As a ruler, Prince Albert has become a passionate and deeply respected global advocate for environmental protection and ocean conservation. He has created a foundation dedicated to these causes and has traveled the world from the North Pole to the South Pole to raise awareness about the effects of climate change. His journey was a long and reluctant one, but he has finally and fully embraced his destiny, leading his nation with a quiet, serious focus that is all his own. While Albert was slowly and very reluctantly preparing to rule his country, his younger sister Stéphanie was on a completely different path. A rebellious, often shocking, and deeply misunderstood journey, sparked by the single most traumatic day of their lives. Number 1, Princess Stéphanie, the survivor in the storm. She was labeled the wild child, the royal rebel. Her life has been a whirlwind of pop songs, controversial romances, and circus caravans. But to understand the tumultuous life of Princess Stéphanie, you must first understand that she is above all else a survivor. A survivor of the horrific accident that killed her mother. Born in 1965, Stéphanie Marie Elizabeth was the youngest and most free-spirited of the 3 children. Her life changed forever and irrevocably on September 13, 1982. She was a passenger in the Rover P6 being driven by her mother when Princess Grace suffered a stroke, lost control of the vehicle, and plunged down a steep, winding mountainside road. Stéphanie survived with a hairline fracture of a vertebra and other serious injuries. Her mother did not. In the immediate chaotic aftermath, a cruel, baseless, and unbelievably painful rumor spread like wildfire that the 17-year-old Stéphanie, and not her mother, had been driving the car. This false accusation combined with the immense trauma of witnessing the accident. The grief of losing her mother and a sense of survivor's guilt would haunt her for years. Her subsequent lifelong rebellion can be seen as a direct reaction to this profound trauma and the stiff, unforgiving formality of a palace that didn't know how to handle her pain. She refused to live the quiet, predictable life of a princess. In the 1980s, she launched a surprisingly successful career as a pop star. Her dance pop single, Oregon, released as Irresistible in English, was a massive international hit selling millions of copies. She became a European pop icon known for her edgy, androgynous style. She also worked as a model and launched her own successful swimwear line. Her love life was a constant source of tabloid fascination and palace headaches. She famously had 2 children, Louis and Pauline, with her former bodyguard, Daniel Ducrouet, whom she later married and then divorced after he was caught in a scandalous videotaped affair with a Belgian model. She had a 3rd child, Camille, with another former palace security guard, Jean-Raymond Gottlieb. Perhaps her most famous act of rebellion came in the early 2000s, when she began a relationship with a married elephant trainer, Franco Kani. In a move that stunned the world, she moved herself and her 3 young children into a circus caravan to travel with the Kani National Circus. The image of the Princess of Monaco living with a circus was the ultimate shocking rejection of her royal duties. In recent years, however, Stéphanie seems to have found peace and a profound sense of purpose. She has become a dedicated and tireless philanthropist, serving as the president of Fight AIDS Monaco, a cause she has championed for decades. She is also the patron of the International Circus Festival of Monte Carlo, a passion she inherited from her father, bringing her story full circle in a beautiful, unexpected way. Her journey has been a wild, often chaotic search for freedom by a traumatized soul, who against all odds has found her own unique way to serve and to heal. Together, the lives of Caroline, Albert, and Stéphanie tell a complete story of a modern royal family, a story of glamour, grief, duty, and the relentless search for individual identity within a gilded cage. They are the children of a Hollywood fairy tale who were forced to live with its tragic real-life consequences. This theme of navigating the chaotic and glamorous life of a Hollywood icon turned matriarch is a powerful one we have explored before on this channel. In a previous video, we dove into the incredible world of Elizabeth Taylor, another larger-than-life legend whose life off-screen was every bit as dramatic as any role she ever played. We explored her 8 marriages, her incredible Oscar-winning career, and her groundbreaking activism that changed the world. You can watch that definitive story by clicking the link right here. And her children's stories of growing up in that whirlwind of paparazzi husbands and priceless jewels are just as fascinating. We are currently putting the finishing touches on our deep dive, Elizabeth Taylor's 4 Children, The Untold Story. To see how they navigated that incredible life, make sure you are subscribed and have hit that notification bell. You will not want to miss it.